Kamilah's story. Inside your sprawling palace in Egypt, you lounge on a chaise, attended by various servants living a life of luxury, only you aren't living. Not anymore. More wine.
Right away, your majesty.
The man hurries to your side and fills your goblet to the brim with a deep red wine nearly the color of blood. Would you like some grapes, Queen Kamilah? You nod, and the woman holds up a bunch of grapes. You catch one between your teeth and bite into it, savoring the sweet flavor. That was just what I needed. The man takes to fanning you with a large palm leaf, the soft breeze gentle on your skin.
Are you quite content to be home, your majesty? I know before you were strategizing on the battlefield in the war against Octavian.
I miss the thrill of battle. The war was pointless, but there was nothing quite like watching your plans play out and defeating your enemies.
Only a fool would make an enemy of you.
But there is much land to be had out there. If you long for a fight, there are plenty of places to conquer. The king has no interest in expanding, though I wish he did. If you don't mind me asking, your majesty, what called King Gaius away so urgently? Your mind flickers back to earlier in the evening when Gaius kissed your cheek and said he would see you before dawn. It isn't like him to leave without inviting me along, or at least telling me where he is going. I hope nothing is wrong. Should we expect him to return tonight? Her words jar you back to the present. King Gaius. It's none of your business. Shall return before morning. As to what called him away, I cannot say, but he left just as I awoke. In the meantime, however, I am in charge. She holds the grapes up again, and your eyes dart to a wrist where you can practically see her pulse thrumming, tempting you. Indeed, and we are at your disposal. You down your goblet of wine, the rich flavor washing over your tongue, but it does nothing to sate your growing thirst. One of the servants goes to pour you more wine, but you pull your goblet away. No, I hunger for something more filling. The servants kneel beside the chaise, and you lick your lips as they both bare their throats to you. Your Majesty, you should have said so sooner. Our blood is yours, to take when you wish.
We are here for you, and all of your needs.
You run a finger along the man's neck, then turn and do the same to the woman, practically feeling the blood pumping through their veins. What loyal servants I have. We are honored to serve.
You merely need to choose which one of us will do the honor of feeding from.
You look between the two servants, admiring the strong muscles of the man and the soft curves of the woman. Why not? You dismiss the other servant with a wave of your hand, and you feel your fangs extend as you eye the taut line of the remaining one's neck. Sit. He gets up from the ground and sits on the chaise, and you quickly crawl into his lap.
Your Majesty.
Shh. You lean forward, inhaling the musky scent of him, before sinking your teeth into his neck. Hot blood pours into your mouth, delicious, intoxicating, and it fills your body with warmth. His body gradually goes slack against yours, and while the taste is exquisite, you force yourself to pull back before you drain him dry. Blood drips down your chin onto your dress, staining the white crimson fabric deep crimson. Delicious. His breath comes in shallow pants, his head tipping forward to rest against your shoulder. It seems I got carried away. My apologies. You nick your thumb with your fangs before pressing it against the still bleeding bite, using your own blood to seal his wounds shut.
There is no need to apologize, Your Majesty. I am happy to give. But if you'd like to clean up, I'd be more happy than to attend to you in the baths.
He smiles at your eyes, still glazed over from pleasure and blood loss. I am sure you would.
You are meant to be lavished, Your Majesty, and I would be honored to pay your body the worship it deserves. And should you wish, you can share with me your thoughts of late.
You make your way to the baths, where moonlight streams in through a small window in the roof. Your servant passes you. He picks up a cloth and dips it into the warm water before returning to your side.
May I, Your Majesty?
You nod, and he brings the cloth to your face, gently wiping away the blood there. Well, am I beautiful once again?
Your beauty does not diminish, even when you are covered in blood.
Smart boy. He helps you out of your clothing, carefully folding them and placing them on a nearby bench. Then you step into the water and letting the warmth wash over you as you sink in. You stretch out languidly in the bath, closing your eyes as your head falls back against the edge.
Is there a fragrance you would prefer for your bath, Queen Kamilah?
I'd like something relaxing.
As you wish, Your Majesty.
He carefully sucks a bottle of oil from the shelf and pours some of it into the water. Moments later, the sweet scent of lavender and vanilla reaches your nose. You take a deep breath, letting the tension bleed out of your body.
How is that?
It very, very well may put me to sleep.
I shall watch over you then.
Steam rises from the water, soothing, as your servant cleans the rest of your body with a wet piece of cloth.
Have you ever been to the baths in Rome, Your Majesty? I have heard they are beautiful, that our own here are modeled after them.
I have been to Rome, yes, but not to the baths. Women were only allowed to attend in early hours of the morning, and while money was no object, they were quite costly for us as well.
Truly?
Despite my noble status, I suspect you have gotten more respect there than I did. They did not deem me worthy of their time or attention, for I had no interest in betting them.
Then the Romans truly are fools, for you are far greater than any one of them.
The visit was not all miserable, though. I was given a tour of the city and even spectated matches at the Colosseum.
What did you like best, Your Majesty?
Strangely, I found myself drawn towards the idols of Caesar. This was back when Julius still ruled. Statues of him were beautifully sculpted, painted. Some were even detailed in gold. Seeing these statues, I realized the uselessness of vanity. Julius believed himself invincible. With all those idols, you may have believed he was loved by everyone in Rome. And yet it was the very people he trusted most who brought him to his end.
Surely idols didn't cause that.
No, but they left him blind to the deceit in his very house. When one is truly great, they know it. They do not need paltry artwork to prove that in the case. Your servant fetches another vial of oil from the shelf. He unstoppers it, this time pouring some into his hands.
Shall I anoint you?
That would be lovely. Start with my shoulders. You scoot up to the ledge and sweep your hair around to the front, leaving your back and shoulders exposed. He spreads the oil across your skin and then begins to massage you, digging his thumbs in. Just like that. He finds every aching knot, gradually working them out until you feel like you're melting into the water beneath you. What about you?
Me, Your Majesty.
I could talk about myself all day, but I think I'd much rather prefer to hear something new. His hands pause briefly, as though he's thinking, before he continues to rub the oil into your skin.
Well, I was born and raised here. My father was a stone mason, as was his father before him. I believe my family may have even helped build this palace.
And how did you wind up working for me?
When you were first appointed nomarch, you were paraded through the city. I took one look at you and knew that I wanted to spend my life in your service.
So, taken with my beauty, were you?
How could I not be?
He smiles as he finishes massaging you, then kneels at your side at the edge of the bath.
I started in the kitchens, gradually proved myself, hoping to one day serve you directly. And when you returned with King Gaius, I finally got my chance.
Well, you've done an excellent job so far. Keep this up, and you will always have a place by my side. Loyalty, like yours, is a rarity, and I shall treasure it. If it pleases you, I would have you tend to me in all matters.
That is all I would ever ask for, Your Majesty.
You long to remain lounging comfortably in the water, but it has already begun to cool, and you let out a heavy sigh. I'm afraid if I stay here any longer, I shall shrivel. The servant helps you out of the bath, quickly beginning to dry you with soft cloths. I have one last question for you.
Anything, Your Majesty.
What kind of queen do you think I am?
I do not believe that is my place to say. I think what's more important is what type of queen you wish to be.
I wish to be compassionate. There's enough cruelty in the world already. I have no desire to add to it. I wish to be a beacon of hope for those less fortunate. He helps you back into your clothing, carefully draping them around you so you once again strike the imposing figure of a queen.
I can only speak from my own experience, Your Majesty, but if the kindness you've shown me is any indication, you are well on your way.
Good. Very good. The sound of raised voices from down the hall catches your attention. Your heightened hearing picked up a few words despite the distance.
You can't do that to us. We demand to see him.
What is going on out there?
Some citizens have come for an audience with King Gaius, but we're having to send them away since he's not here. You need not trouble yourself over it, Queen Kamilah.
There's no need to send them away. I shall see to them. You step into the room to find full of raucous people shouting at the servants, trying to usher them out the door. I'm sorry for the noise, Your Majesty. I was just seeing these people out.
We're not going until we've had an audience with the king.
The king is not here with you to meet you, but your queen is. Immediately the hall falls silent as everyone in it turns and bows to you. Form an orderly line, and I shall see to all of your questions and requests. The first man to approach is frail, trembling, but he immediately sinks to his knees in front of you. Your Majesty, thank you for taking time out of your day to listen to my plea. It truly speaks to your generosity and virtue. You may stand. He slowly gets up to his feet, swaying unsteadily on them for a moment before he looks at you with sad, desperate eyes. The rains have been so few this season, Your Majesty, that my crops have withered and died. I would happily starve if I had enough for my wife and children, but I don't even have that. So you wish for the king and I to provide you with food? Just enough to give us time to replant the land, and we would be happy to gift you and the king with some of the fruits of our labor afterward. You may have some food from our stores. You turn to one of the servants. Give them enough food to feed every member of the household for 2 weeks.
Your Majesty, that is too much.
As and should the crops still refuse to grow, you may return here for more food. I will not stand by while my citizens starve.
Thank you, Your Majesty. I will not forget this kindness.
The man gives another grateful bow before another steps forward, this one dressed in much finer cloth. It is fortunate that you are to see us today, Queen Kamilah, as I have brought you a gift. While nothing could ever be as worthy of a goddess such as yourself, I still hope it is to your liking. He passes a small box to one of your servants, who brings it up to you. You open it to find a necklace made of 12 gems. It's beautiful. A gift like this one deserves an equal one in turn. As thanks, you may go into the royal vault. Select one object to take for yourself. Your Majesty, that is far more power than a lowly servant such as myself deserves. If you would do me the honor of choosing one for me, I would be ever so grateful. Ah, well then. A jeweled sword, a scarab beetle, or a bottle of wine. Well, he gave us a piece of jewelry, so scarab beetle. A symbol of new life you have found in our kingdom. May it continue to prosper. Thank you for the gift and your blessing. Before the man can finish bowing in thanks, another roughly pushes past him, glaring you down.
You won't get any praise or gifts from me.
Then what do you have to offer?
A demand.
You are not in a place to make demands of your queen.
You're not my queen.
Watch your tongue, lest you wish to lose it. You waver away, keeping your cold gaze fixated on the man.
My family has lived on this land for generations, long before you and your so-called king arrived. We quite liked how things used to be. We want to go back to them.
Wait a moment, are you suggesting that we take all of our things and go for you? You laugh and the man's face goes red in indignation.
You and your king have brought a foul evil with you. We will not stand for its presence. If you will not leave willingly, then we will cast you out.
Behind every king that is a real king is a very fierce, strong woman that helps support that king. You will pay for your disrespect with your life. In an instant, your fingers are wrapped around his neck, squeezing tightly. Your fingernails tear open his skin. The heady smell of blood mixing with the unmistakable fear wafting off of him. The people here belong to the king and myself. Hopefully your corpse will send a message to anyone else thinking of rebelling. His eyes bulge, his face slowly loses its color as you watch him suffocate. The small flex of your hand, his neck snaps. You drop his limp corpse to the ground. Toss him outside for the birds. As you turn back to the remaining citizens, one of your servants rushes up, eyes wide. Your Majesty, Cleopatra and Mark Antony wish to see you. What? They are here. Why?
They refuse to say.
Of course they did. Prickly annoyance settles over you, but you school your expressions, aware of all the eyes on you. Send them to the throne room. If my cousin and her lover wish to meet with me, they should remember my new title. Once you are comfortably seated on the throne, your servants open the door and usher in Cleopatra and Mark Antony inside. Cousin, to what do I owe this unexpected pleasure? Kamilah, it is lovely to see you. I see that you have been busy since we last met.
Busy rebelling?
Oh God, I haven't missed your face. Is that not what you've been doing with Octavian? Mark Anthony. You made his furious glare with an icy one of your own, interrupted only by Cleopatra clearing her throat. When I appointed you nomarch, Kamilah, I gave you oversight of this land, but from what I hear, you have gone far beyond that. However, I'd be willing to overlook that in return for your aid. You either scold me or beg for my assistance, cousin. You must pick one.
You will not speak to her like...
Quiet, Roman. The affairs of our land do not concern you. Cleopatra places her hand on Mark Antony's arm, and the hand that was reaching for his sword drops to his side. I'd love to have seen him try. Had he truly attempted to strike you, he'd be dead before he raised the blade. Our war with Octavian still drags on, and we no longer have the troops we need to support it. But we have heard you have considerable forces of soldiers here. We require them for our campaign. No. Excuse me. I have no interest in aiding your cause. When you refused to listen to my counsel, I do believe I warned you about putting your faith in someone like him. Now he has failed you, and you must pay the price for that decision.
We have not failed yet.
Our only chance is to stand as a united front. I have given you my answer.
Your answer is inadequate.
Well, figuring you didn't pay her respect, that's probably one of the reasons why I answered that way. I do not take orders from you. But you do from me. I am your queen. You will do as I command. I serve my king now, and he is far stronger than you or Octavian could ever hope to be. There is no king in Egypt. There is, and once Octavian is disposed of you, your lands will be his.
You speak treason.
And if your armies are truly as strained as you say, there's nothing you can do about it. If Lamptius were here...
The way she speaks his name makes your very blood boil, rage coursing through you.
No, you don't get to talk about him. You are the reason he's dead. He went off to war because he believed in our cause. He understood the threat the Romans posed. You want... Lamptius would want you to... Say his name one more time, and I'll... You'll what? Okay, so because of him... Well, both of them, he's dead? I'll cut your tongue from your mouth. You wouldn't.
No, I think she'll just pull it from your mouth.
Are you sure about that?
You draw a dagger from your thigh as you get to your feet, and Cleopatra takes a nervous step back behind Mark Antony. You will not lay a hand on her.
A coward to the end, I see, cousin. Please, Kamilah, it doesn't have to be this way. Together we can put an end to the Romans. Despite your anger, you pretend to consider wanting to draw out this humiliation. You're right. If I were to help you, the Romans would be no more. We would tear through their forces, leaving their bloody corpses burning behind us.
Then put aside your petty lust for power. Lend us your army so we can crush Rome for good.
Tempting though that may be, I see no reason to help those who would treat me as their lesser. The power I've been given deserves far more respect than that.
You speak as though you are a god.
Perhaps I am.
No. Show them what I've become.
You know what, actually? Screw it. letting the thrill of power run through you. You feel your fangs extend and your eyes turn blood red. Do you see now how much more I have become? You're a monster!
I will strike you down.
By all means, try. I've been looking for an excuse to slit your throat. This time, Anthony does draw his blade, but you merely raise a bemused eyebrow.
Once we're rid of you, your people will fall in line and your armies will be ours.
You laugh, so loud it echoes through the room, and you see fear flash across Cleopatra and Mark Anthony's faces. You are a fool. We have no legions for you to take by force. There is just the king and myself. And we are worth far more than just any army. How did this happen, Kamilah? You wave dismissively at both of them. Your servants step forward to escort them out. Run back home, cousin, and pray that Octavian grants you a swift death. I'm not sure I'd be so generous.
You will regret this.
Now that I doubt. Once Cleopatra and Mark Anthony are gone, you retire to your bedroom. It's not long before Gaius returns. Welcome back, my love. But when you go to greet him with a kiss, he sweeps past you. Is there something the matter?
Grab anything of importance to you quickly.
What, why?
The villagers are in an uproar over a murder of one of their own.
It seems killing him didn't send a strong enough message.
They are marching on the palace with torches and weapons. We must be gone by the time they arrive.
We can't run. I'm not a coward. If it is a fight they want, it is a fight they'll get. But I would not flee my home when I lived, and I shall not do so now. Gaius abruptly seizes your face in his hands, turning you, so you're staring into his furious red eyes.
I am the one who makes the decisions here.
He bares his fangs as his nails dig into your skin, and a sudden fear chills your whole body. Gaius,
Who is in charge here, Kamilah?
You lower your gaze as you feel the anger rolling off of him. You are Gaius.
Good.
He releases his grip on your face, only to tentatively stroke your cheek, apologetic.
I do not mean to be harsh with you, my queen.
No. You are right, I am sorry. It's just... I will miss this place. It has been my home for many years. I had hoped it would be our home in the centuries to come.
Our home is wherever we are.
He brushes his thumb along your jaw and you find yourself leaning into his touch.
I'm sorry as well for losing my temper. It is your safety, our safety, that I am worried about. I could not bear it if anything happened to you.
His words quiet the growing anxiety churning in your belly, and you step closer into his embrace. I forgive you. I was merely startled by the sudden quickness of everything, of having to leap so quickly.
You are a better woman than I deserve.
Where shall we go, though, if Egypt is no longer safe?
North. Far enough that even the Rome will not be able to track us.
And there we will stay and make our home?
For as long as it is safe to do so.
He presses a soft kiss to your forehead before he lets you go.
Now gather your things and we shall be off.
He disappears from the room in nearly an instant. You find a bag and fill it with your most important belongings, stopping when you come upon a small toy horse. I could use your advice, brother. I thought the Gaius saw us as equals, that we were equals. But no. Your heart aches in your chest, but you shake your head, forcing yourself not to dwell on it. No, he is merely stressed and trying to do what is best for us, that is all. The two of you flee out of the back of the palace, and you reach the cat's eye of a dozen burning torches marching steadily towards your doorstep.
You saw how they treated us when we dared to question their authority. We must put an end to them before they do us.
All this fuss over the life of one man.
That is humankind, I'm afraid.
Not entirely, but okay. As they reach the entrance, they bang loudly, their weapons clanging against the wood and stone.
They've barred the doors. They won't stop us. Burn it down.
The villagers toss their burning torches onto the building, and it rapidly catches fire. Moments later, screams echo through the air as the flames reach the people still trapped inside. What a waste of life.
On the contrary, think of it as a sign of loyalty. There is no higher honor than someone willing to die for you, other than perhaps someone being willing to kill for you.
But it is us the village is angry with, killing their fellows. It serves no purpose.
They are giving us an opportunity to escape, my queen. And any good servant would die defending their monarchs.
Your gaze strays back to the palace, the orange firelight drowning out everything around you. It is like we are at war.
That is because we are. Come.
He pushes forward into the night, but you pause for just a moment to look back. Goodbye. And you feel that it's not just your home you're saying goodbye to, but a piece of yourself. That was it? That was it? Okay, alright, well, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down the description. Plenty of links and ways to contribute and be more a part of the community and the whole 9 yards. Let me know your thoughts down below. I gotta say, I wish there would have been more to Kamilah's story, in all honesty. And I'm assuming what happened at the end there happened regardless, right? So I'm sure if we had not ended the man, I'm sure we would have still been dealt with or kicked out somehow, some way, right? So again, let me know in the comment section below if that is correct. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Catch you all in the next video. Peace out.